Greetings, friends and future friends. Today I want to show you something that I've learned over the years. You know, if you're like me, you're a one-person operation, and you're looking into the camera, and you're looking down to make sure your audio's right, making sure you're in the camera angle right, and all this stuff. Sometimes you neglect what you have to say when you're trying to converse, or you're trying to convey a message like, hey, how do you play a guitar, or a keyboard, or a drum? Well, I learned this thing. It's really cool. It's kind of a monologue, dialogue kind of thing. And what it does is it exercises the mechanism in which you speak. Now, your vocal cords, that's a different thing, and there's a lot of videos out there on how to, improve your vocal cords. But I'm talking about the mechanics of how you talk. So, I'll show it to you this way. This is the dialogue I'm talking about. Generally speaking, the articulation of the population is so indistinct, inasmuch as it is irremediably lacking clarity and totally indistinguishable. Nevertheless, the veritable metamorphosis indubitably took place in the months of January and February, when a few practitioners in the indescribable delicate art of elocution dedicated themselves to the rehabilitation of that particularly inarticulate percentage of inhabitants whose inadequacies of self-expression form so wholly redundant and superfluous they stand on our otherwise ineffable immaculate escutcheon. Now, that's a mouthful. Yeah, it's a long dialogue. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it below the video. You can copy and paste it and learn it. And that way, when you're doing stuff in front of the camera and you want to warm up that mechanism, you can repeat that. And, after a while, you memorize it. You can use it for other things. Like if you're going to be doing some kind of voiceover, which I know voiceover work's kind of going away with all this AI. But, if you do have a voiceover job, you can repeat that, generally speaking. And I even take it a step further. If I want to do an accent like, generally speaking, articulation of population, you could do that. Or, generally speaking, articulation of population. You can use that dialogue to check your accent or what you're going to do for that voiceover. So, let me tell you, learn that thing if you can and use it. And then when you get in front of the camera, before you get in front of the camera, you can do that dialogue. It warms everything up. And you know what? If you are doing stuff like that, maybe do it every other day or whatever. And another thing too, it's just like playing guitar. When you come over a riff that it's hard to play, you keep playing that riff until you get better at it. So if you come across a word or a phrase in that dialogue that gives you problems, keep repeating it and it'll get better. So, generally speaking, the articulation of the population is so indistinct. Inasmuch as it is irremediably lacking clarity and totally indistinguishable. Nevertheless, a veritable metamorphosis indubitably took place not in January and February, when a few practitioners in the indescribable delicate art of elocution dedicated themselves to the rehabilitation of that particularly inarticulate percentage of inhabitants whose inadequacies of self-expression form so wholly redundant and superfluous they stain on otherwise ineffable immaculate escutcheon.
Generally speaking, articulation of the population is so indistinct, inasmuch as is irremediably lacking clarity and totally indistinguishable. Nevertheless, a veritable metamorphosis indubitably took place during the months of January and February, when a few practitioners in the indescribable delicate art of elocution dedicated themselves to the rehabilitation of that particularly inarticulate percentage of inhabitants whose inadequacies of self-expression form so wholly redundant and superfluous sustain or otherwise inevitable immaculate escutcheon. Yeah.
Generally speaking, the articulation of population is so indistinct. As much as is irremediable lacking clarity and totally indistinguishable. Nevertheless, a veritable metamorphosis indubitably took place in the month of January or February, when a few practitioners in the indescribable delicate art of elocution dedicated ourselves to the rehabilitation of that particularly inarticulate percentage of inhabitants whose inadequacies of self-expression form so wholly redundant and superfluous they stand on otherwise inevitable immaculate escutcheon. Yeah.
Generally speaking, the articulation of the population is so indistinct, as much as it is irremediably lacking clarity and totally indistinguishable. Nevertheless, a veritable metamorphosis indubitably took place in the months of January and February. When a few practitioners in indescribable delicate art of elocution, they dedicated themselves to rehabilitation of that particularly inarticulate percentage of inhabitants whose inadequacies of self-expression, superfluous stain on otherwise ineffable immaculate escutcheon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I hope this video helped you out to learn the mechanics of pronunciation. And remember, down below, copy, paste, and hey, memorize it, and you'll be on your way. So take care, my friends, and thanks for watching.